Okay, we have here an Abloy Protec2. There's the key. All right. And there's a little bit of key control on this lock. So I'm going to first just flip a ball bearing so I can rotate the core fully. And now I'm going to use a piece of wire to prop up the pick. And now I'm going to start. That's disc 1. I'm going to release some tension, pull it out a little bit. Okay, that's movement on 1. Okay, good movement on 2. Good movement on 3. Let's see how that went. Okay. I feel like 2, we just need to go step by step here. I feel like 2 needs another push. So let me try that. Yep, okay. So I'll push on 2. Nice. And then, actually, we might keep that there for now. Don't want to get too aggressive till we can open some more things up. Try to get some better feedback. So I'll go to the back half of the lock now. Put my wire in again. And okay, so 4 is a control disc, so I'm past 4 now. That's 5. Let me try, let me see if that's moving on 6. Yes. Not quite yet. Okay, I'm gonna try the release tension and get some movement. It's hardest to create in the first opening here in the back. Did that do it? All right, let's see, I'll tighten up again. Okay, yeah. So I pushed 6 in a little bit, which is helpful. I happen to know that 6 is a max lift, so that helps us. Now we have a good reference point. There's 6. Okay. So now let's continue working here. There's 7. Okay, push on 7. Push on 8. That must be 9. Okay. And let's tighten up again, see where we are. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Oh, take a little bit of a break. So far, so good. So that's a first pass. I think before I go to the front again, let me just see what I can tell in the back here. So 5 is good. I'm not going to touch 5. 6, that's my max lift. I mean, I think that's, oh no, there's one more notch. Okay, maybe now that is all the way set. It certainly feels better. Okay. barely moved, just out of their starting position. So I'm going to want to hit both of those. Let me just do one notch, see how it goes. This is 7. Not quite there yet, I'm stuck. Oh, heard something, and that's 8. Heard something there. Lock it back up. Okay, 6, 7, 8. All right. That's pretty good. And now, whenever I release tension, I risk retracting some of the max lift discs. So I just want to double check this guy here at 9. Okay. That actually feels pretty good. And yeah, definitely 6 fell out some. So let's see if we can't put that back. I think that did it. Yeah. Okay, so 5, 6. That's hard. I can't. Sometimes it just might just be slipping off, but I think that got 6. 5, 6, and then where were we at 7 and 8, 9. Okay. I'm actually feeling pretty confident in the back of the lock, but we are not open yet, which means something is not right in the front. So let's get back in the front part of the lock, brace ourselves in there with this wire. Let's see if we can't see. I can't tell what's going on. 1 is fine. I don't see anything wrong there. 2 is fine. Well, by process of elimination, I think 3 needs to go a little further. I'm really having to counter rotate here. Oh, I see the problem. Okay, I pulled the tension wrench out so far that I'm no longer rotating the core back. Okay. All right, no worries. Just need to take this a little bit slower. So I'm positioned on 3. And I'm gonna rotate. Yeah, I'm literally looking at the keyway here and it's not moving. So let me try to reposition. Okay, that felt like a really good fit. All right, so where were we? Okay. There is 3. All right, now the core is moving. Oh, did that do it? No. Actually, it did. Okay, so what happened? Now, 3 feels good. feels good. Does 2 need another push? I suppose it's possible, but no. So why is the lock not open? Is the big question. Well, before I push on 2, it could be that I screwed up some things in the back while doing all that. So let's have another look in the back. Okay, 5 is fine. All right, 6. Conceivably, this max lift could have just been pulled back, so let's try that. Oh, maybe that did happen. Nope, I just slipped off. Let me try again. Okay. I mean, I do think that's all the way. Can't seem to get it to go much further. All right, and then there's 7 and 8, which have not moved from before. Okay, let's try 9. Okay, so 9 is pushed all the way. 6 is pushed all the way. 5 and 10 seem perfectly fine. So that leaves 7 and 8. So 7 and 8. And in the front, I'm suspicious of 2. Okay. I mean, in picking this lock, it always seems to come down to some guesswork at the end. I just can't get the feedback to tell. Well, I am going to guess that 7 and 8 need more help than 2. So let's see if I am right. Okay. There we go. That's 7 right there. So let's just let up a little bit. Make sure I'm actually turning the core. I'm not. Slipped out again. Okay. easier to try 8 first instead of 7. It's a 3-way guess here. Ooh. Okay, something happened. Okay. Oh, that's pretty far. Did I overset 8? No way. No. I didn't overset 8. I slipped off it. I still haven't been able to set either of these two. All right, well, the good news here is the degree to which they're stuck gives me some good confidence that these are the ones, and they're really just stuck in a false gate. The bar is, the sidebar has gotten that far down. So that is encouraging, but I'm gonna have to be super careful trying to dig them out. Okay, so my wrench is all the way in right now. I've got placement on 7. Ooh. Did that actually do something? No. I keep on slipping off that guy, thinking that it moved. But it's clearly stuck. Not moving at all. Okay, come on, that must have been something. Made quite a convincing noise. No. Okay. Super on top of this thing. Pulsing it. I'm not gonna let the flag really go up at all. I don't want to slip off again. Come on. Okay. That's it. That is it. So it turns out that, oh, yeah, we're unlocked. It turns out that both 7 and 8 were stuck in those false gates. And as soon as I, rotated backwards enough to give some room for 7, I could tell it was in the right place. And then, just adjusted 8 at the same time. All right, so let's see, let's get our tools out of here and figure out how to cut this thing. Okay, so let's see, get my tools out of the way. Gonna release the focus lock. I'm gonna zoom out a little. Okay. And let's see, I'm gonna try to take this out of the vise. positioning. Okay, getting there. And gunning tray. All right. Now this is a big honking lock. This is the Abloy 362 body. So, I mean, that's like a 15 millimeter shackle right there. It's heavy duty. You can see the lock is picked. I think I need some more space to work with this. Zoom out a little. All right, and to start taking this thing apart, there is a hex screw all the way here. It goes all the way into the core. It's a pretty long one, so I'm going to use this. You can see I'm starting to take that out. Okay, there we go. So look at the size of that guy. Hex screw. All right, and then the next thing is that will allow this cap to rotate. So I'm going to take a screwdriver and take this cap off. Okay. So there is the cap. And then if I turn this upside down, a few things are going to happen. I'm going to get this actuator out, and then there's going to be the shackle's going to be loose there. Then there's going to be 2 ball bearings and the core and the sidebar, and we have now a completely, oh no, there's a little washer at the bottom. There we go. Got a completely empty, super solid housing. Got a tiny washer all the way at the end. We have just abutting that washer is this spin cap right here. And the core we'll get to in a moment, as well as the sidebar. Here is the other ball bearing. So now this is technically a destructive gut, because I have to tell you guys, I made one modification here. This C-clip, which you can see is busted, sits deep down there, way into the body of the lock to hold the core in place. And so as you can see, it's quite a devil of a thing to try to get out. I actually, didn't get it out in one piece. And so what I did, I didn't want to do any more damage to the lock. And so what I did is instead, I took, oh no, here it is. I took a very thin layer of rubber here, rubber adhesive, on this part, and you can see it's very smooth to turn. But what that does is that tiny little bit, everything's so compressed in here, it forces enough downward pressure that this core does not move at all. Okay, so the core was completely retained, but given how fragile this thing and difficult it is to work with, I went with the rubber just to stop doing any more damage. In any event, all the interesting stuff now is in the core. And you can see, oh, this just fell off. This is just a tail piece. It sits right here and basically just allows the core only to turn a finite amount. You can see the lock is picked. Okay, so if I put see the sidebar just sits in there perfectly. Okay. And let me think about how I want to. I guess I should give you a close-up of the sidebar. The sidebar really, not really anything interesting there. It's pretty flat except for that L shape at the end. And let me think about how to take this out, because there are some spring-loaded ball bearings here that can get us into quite a bit of trouble. Now, since the lock is already picked, I think it's easiest if I just pull it out and use my thumb to cushion, to catch the ball bearings. So let's see how that goes. Yep, okay, so it's coming out. All right, so I'm gonna dump the left side. Okay, spring came out, and I'm gonna dump the right side. Ball bearing came out. And there's gonna be more in here, but I'm just gonna take this out. Okay, there's the other ball bearing. Okay, we'll leave this core in a moment. So on the left side, we have spring, tiny ball bearing. Oh, just went under. You can get it later. And on the right side, we have bigger ball bearing. And then there's a spring still in here on the right side. And another ball bearing. Okay, so that's the right side. Then on the left side, there's this little mechanism here that actually prevents the lock from turning unless the ball bearing is depressed. Okay, so now steering mechanism here is all in one piece. And let me see if I can, there we go. There's the ball bearing I lost. Come on. All right. All right, let's get a little closer as we start to take this core apart. So there's a sliding piece here on the top. And then we've got all the discs right in there. And you can see there are 2 return rods. And there are sliders and discs. So, okay, one at a time here. So we got, sorry, I said sliders, spacers and discs. So that's the first disc 1 right there. Okay. All right, then we have spacer and disc 2. They are really stuck together there, aren't they? Here, let me just, I'll just start laying them down. In order here. So let's see, I've got 3. They're really stuck together, huh? There we go. Okay, there's 3. Okay. 4. Oh, I'm thinking there's something attached, but no. 4 is a control disk. And you can see the control disk is surrounded by steel spacers. That means that this is number 5. That is a 0 lift. And its spacer. Then we have coming up here is 6. Six is a max lift. Okay, I might have grabbed 2 here. Spacer. Okay, and here's 7. Spacer. There's 8. Spacer. There's 9. And then coming up here is 10. Is also a 0 lift, 0 turn. All right. Okay, and then what do we have here? Another spacer. Okay, so we have 11 is another control disk. And if you can count this guy, it's a little thin. It's also part of the control system. And that leaves 2 return bars. And finally, there's this tiny little piece that just holds the end of the steering column at the very end. And finally, there is an empty core. Okay. So there you have it. That's a Protec2 right there. I think it's worth just saying a word. Well, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Get close up. Of some of these discs. But what I was going to say is it's probably worth a word on tools, because the hard part about this lock is you've got these return bars, and what they're doing is when you fully rotate the core, you take a disc like this, where, you know, your actual gates, let me see if I can get a better light on this. That's a little bit better. See, your actual gate is here. This is a dupe. We're turning clockwise, so this is the only real active gate here in this lock. And you can see the false gates are up top, but down below there are all these ridges. And that's where, when you fully rotate the core, these control rods will come in and lock into the bottom there. And it confuses the feedback because you're trying to feel the bar up here, but you're first and foremost feeling the return bars. The side bar up here, but you're feeling the return bars here. Makes things very difficult. And it's compounded by the fact that, you know, this rather bulky steering column is in the middle here while you're working, so there's not much room. And so what and a lot of, you know, a bunch of folks have devised these very impressive disc detainer picks for this. But what I wound up doing is, if you take a tension wrench like this, you can slide it underneath, and it literally, not only can you rotate, but it serves as a little platform at the bottom of that column. And then if you stick a small, and this is like a 1.2 millimeter wire in there, that kind of fills things out a little bit, okay? So that by the time I insert my multi-pick, and this is a number 1, it's one of the curved ones, I've actually got the right support there to both, I fell down here just a moment, let me get it right. There we go. I have the right support to just stick in there, to get it in there curved, and then to be able to turn just like that. And so with this combination, you get some pretty good pick placement. All right, there you have it.